called Daily Om. And I really like that. It's just a nice read about a lot of different aspects, a lot of things that sometimes we'll hear in our meditations in the morning, and just kind of life lessons. And then sometimes they offer different classes, and I've taken some of their classes. And what I really like is that they are on a expanded payment from like, I don't know, like $15 to $30 for this class. And it's obviously it's virtual, but I've taken a belly dance class with them and a pelvic reset class and a chair yoga class with them. So anyways, it's really good. And then you get to keep that program forever. But not really advertising for that so much. It's just today's read was about how all of our emotions, so many of them, as we know, store in our body, in different parts of our body, and many of that ends up being in our abdominal area, you know, anger in the liver and worries in the stomach and such. So it was just talking about a couple different techniques that you can use to help those emotions be released. So we'll practice some of those at the end of class, all right? But for now, let's just go ahead and sit up in our mountain pose, right? Pressing just slightly into the earth with our feet, whether you have shoes, socks, or the soles of your bare feet touching the ground beneath you, whether that ground is carpet or tile, wooden floor, the earth. Know that the earth itself is what is supporting you right now. So taking that slight weight into your feet, feeling that igniting through your legs, and then it comes into our hips. And from there, from the hips up, we bring length into our bodies. Remember, the more we can lengthen that spine and do a lot of these exercises that we do in this class and Sit Strong and your daily life that you can take these out into, the less you'll shrink into the gravitational force of Mother Earth, and the more you'll be able to stay elongated and longer, okay? So again, just that light pressure into your feet, which is going to light pressure into your sits bones, which is going to then ignite and light up the upper part of your body. Just closing our eyes for a few moments, taking ourselves away from all the hecticness that's about, and knowing that what will happen will be, and we really are kind of out of control of a lot of those things. When we can come into acceptance of that, true acceptance, we can begin to find a greater calm. And we can find that greater calm with the expression of our great breath. The inhales and the exhales. Think about each inhale as coming in to squeeze and open up those emotions that are stuck. And then the exhale, letting those emotions come out through your navel to your spine and exit rear. Breathing in length, strength. Releasing with an exhale. 2 more of these calming, hopefully calming breaths. And then let's take one of our forearms, lean forward, and taking the wrist on one side and your elbow on the other side. And that forearm is kind of resting in between. My other hand's going to press onto my thigh of that side. And I'm just going to let my spine lengthen, okay, towards you. I'm in a little bit, just a little bit of a twist here, okay? But I'm gonna let my spine elongate towards you, yours towards me, not coming any deeper into a stretch, just letting weight come from our feet, still connected there, down through our fist and wrist and elbow, and then let more weight come into the hand on your thigh, keeping that back long. Now start to work your gaze to one side. Maybe coming back a little bit more to that back shoulder, but again, long spine, okay? Spiraling shape, but long. Give it length. Give it that freedom to move one vertebrae away from the other. Slowly letting my head come back, my shoulder, taking my other hand to thigh, press myself back up into straight. Let my hands come forward to my knees. Before we do the other side, let's take a series of cow and cat. Bring ourselves forward, heart reaching, looking up, inhale. Exhale, sliding hands forward, curl and tuck, rounding deep into yourself. Bringing yourself upright, inhale, heart forward, chinless. Exhaling, come on forward, curl and tuck, rounding into self. Keep going, use your breath to express yourself here and there. Into open-hearted cow. And turning, bowing into self in our cow, our cat, our cow. Two more, please. Feet, good for you. Lifting up. And now we're going to do the other side. Go ahead and do one more thing here. Got to mute you all, so in case you want to sneeze, cough, or fart, we won't hear you. But you'll hear me if I sneeze, cough, or fart. All right, let's go ahead. All these bodily functions, you know, it's just a way of releasing again and detoxifying. Elbow to one thigh and wrist or fist to the other. Same hand as thigh, pressing down as my legs press down, as my spine reaches forward, even though I'm in just a slight twist to begin with, okay? Press down before we go into any more extensiveness in that twist. Really elongate. Can I make my spine separate from those vertebrae a little bit more, a little bit more? Press down on my thigh and begin to open up. First with my gaze, then with maybe my shoulder, upper shoulder, pulling back just a bit. Feel this in my waistline. Going to do a lot in our belly area and our waist area today. Slowly letting head release, shoulder follows, spine follows, still elongated. Hand releases to thigh, press on up. And release my hands down. Let's hang with fingers resting down, blood flowing to the tips of those fingers. It's good to get that blood flow there, especially in the cold weather. Our fingertips, tip of our nose, our toes, they start to shut down a little bit so that we keep the center of our bodies warm. And then take your hands behind you, either hold on to the chair, okay, that's a different way to do it. Let's do it that way first. Hold on to the back part of your chair and let your body weight come forward. So as I do, I'm going to let my shoulders pull back and my heart reach towards you. And I'm gonna look up in this really grandiose cow that I'm gonna hold on to for a while. Really letting my arms be my link to not falling forward, right? So you're kind of doing this push me, pull me. My hands are holding tightly. My heart is pulling forward. Feel that strengthening your arms, opening up heart, squeezing shoulders together. And then slowly take your spine so that you're sitting right on those sits bones. Let your hands come down and then bring them forward. Inhale. And exhale, just let them come down, palms open. Inhale, palms forward, just at eye gaze. Exhale, take them down. That's good, you guys. Let's do a few more of those calming little flows. Inhale, stretching fingers, arms, exhale. Inhale, lifting, keeping gaze forward. But now exhale, take chin to chest. Inhale, bring chin to parallel. Exhale, chin to chest. And two more, please. Good. And sitting up straight and tall, let's go ahead and lift one leg up. And if you need to put it on a block or another chair, you can. Otherwise, keeping that leg lifted is igniting in your core area, in this belly area. And then you can keep it lifted like that, or take your hands interlaced underneath your thigh, okay? And begin to see if you can lift it up a little bit more. The other option is taking those fingers interlaced under your kneecap and seeing if you can lift it up a little bit more. Wherever you find yourself, sit up straight and tall to begin with. Feel the strength of your arms because they're lifting up the weight of your leg, okay? And that leg probably weighs more than both of your arms put together. And then from here, go ahead and just to curl into that knee area with your, maybe close to it with your forehead. That will really take chin to chest. That will really open the back side of your neck. That will really bring pressure into your intestinal area. Shoulders pull down. I'm still breathing even though it's very congested here. Slowly lifting your head away from the knee area. Slowly letting that leg take its place back, foot on the earth. Sitting up straight and tall. 2 breaths in mountain. And when I say 2 breaths, that might be 2 or 3 or 4 for you, whatever that time period is. Go ahead and lift the other foot off the ground. maybe onto a block for support, or holding it up with this area here. And you can even maybe press in and say, yeah, I can feel a little more tension through the layers there that are helping to lift that leg up. My hand can come here and you can lift it a little bit more, or just keep it where it is. Or your fingers can come here. Maybe lift it a little bit more. Find the strength in your arms to keep that weight up in your leg. So I'm tall here, strong. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and just curl into myself, taking forehead to or towards my knee. In yogic terms, when we touch our forehead to or close to our knee, that's called Janusharasana. And it is one of the traditional poses that's done in different ways. But the yogis know how important that is to squeeze into that thyroid gland. Open up the back of the neck and the upper spine. Go ahead and bring your head up slowly. It may have been lower than your heart. Release your arms and let that foot come down. Nice. Go ahead and take your hands, wrap them around you, interlace, okay? And I'm going to press down, squeeze my shoulders together. And from here, I'm going to dive myself forward, only halfway, maybe not even halfway. You find where your spine is willing to take you, that those hands can stay resting right at the base of your spine, or you can continue to press them away from you and lift up only if shoulders say yes, okay? So we've got our thoracic area kind of in between our thighs. If you've gone that far, but don't go any farther than that. We're not lowering our head lower than our heart here, okay? We're just lengthening out that spine. Press to your feet. Go ahead and lift on up. Inhale. Releasing arms. Should feel a nice flow of blood through them right now. Inhale up into a V. Let's take it over with that V. Exhale. Bring yourself up on your in-breath. Take yourself over on your exhale. Keep going. One more time each side. Take it slow. Feel that in our waistline. Inhale. Cactus sit down just to shoulder height with your elbows. Pull back, express heart. Lift chin. And then bring yourself together with your forearms and your hands. Elbows still lifted, looking up. And then exhale, pull in those elbows towards your navel. Bow down with prayerful hands. Let those shoulders release. Bring yourself back up. See if you can get those elbows up to about shoulder height. Press into hands and forearms. And then open up, inhale. Exhale, pull back, open the heart, elbows pull back, chin lifts. And then bring those arms back together in the front, keeping the elbows lifted, hands plant together. Forearms plant, press some energy there. Strengthening with isometric pressure there. And then exhale, curling in, bringing those elbows to your navel. Let your shoulders come down, chin to chest. Bring yourself on up in. Let's do that set one more time. Open up here into cactus arms. Okay, elbows still high. Pull it back, lift chin, offer heart. Oh, yeah. And then bringing ourselves back into center and forward, forward, forward. See if you can reach those forearms and hands together. Press solidly. You should feel that. That takes energy. And then bring the elbows to your navel, chin to chest, and let yourself go forward. Pull those out. Elbows and shoulders down. And then lift up, inhale. And exhale. Open. And release on down. Chin to chest. Let those shoulders just droop and pull away from your ears. And then lifting chin up. Let's take some shoulder rolls here. 4, going back on your breath here. Maybe doing a refreshing breath with your exhale. Hearing your breath. And let's go back 4 times. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Go forward and down. Let's lift one shoulder up so that we feel like we're really awkward here. And pulse that shoulder up, pulling energy into, squeezing into that trapezius that holds so much tension for us. It's like someone going like this into that area. And let it come down, exhale. Oof. Let's do the other side. Take it up and let yourself do a little bit of balancing here. Squeeze it up and exhale it down. Oof. Good. Arms lift, interlace above your head, push away. And let's take it to the side, exhale. Inhale. Take it to the side, other side, exhale. Inhale up. And now turn your one shoulder forward and the other one back just a bit, okay? And then let's take ourselves forward in that angle. Lift up, inhale. Really keep lengthening arms. Come over, back in that angle. Lifting up. Taking ourselves back, chest forward. And come over to the side. Regular side. Inhale, lift. Lengthen through, pushing through those interlaced fingers. Come on over. Bring yourself up. And let's take the opposite shoulder forward and the other one back. Press your right hands. Take yourself down. Exhale. Bring yourself up. Inhale. Exhale. Take it to the back, shoulder side. Bring yourself up. Shoulders, chest forward. One more time to each side. Exhale. Whittling that waist. Inhale. And exhale. bringing ourselves up. Woo, release those arms and let them come down. Exhaling. 2 or 3 breaths here in our seated mountain pose. And let's work on whittling that waist a little bit more. One foot comes to the center, the other one crosses. Now, if crossing isn't available, take a block and set your foot on that block, all right? So find what works for you. Just getting a little bit of internal rotation going on. So if you look down at your legs, right, and your knees, you can see that they're going like this. They're crossing over, right? We do this a lot in our day. And maybe we're always crossing one leg over the other. So try to start noticing that and maybe thinking, oh, I need to spend part of my time crossing the other leg over too, which we'll do today. So sitting up straight and tall, let's take ourselves into a twist here. So my opposite hand of the top leg is going to cross to the bottom leg. Okay, so that's the same hand as the leg. And then my other hand comes behind, I press down. Remember, most important, lengthening it through the spine before we come into a twist. Lengthen, and then go ahead and take a look behind. Keep breathing. Releasing head, releasing shoulders, coming back so that you're facing me, shoulders and heart. And then take the same hand as the leg that's on top, cross it over. And let's take that twist in the opposite way. My hand's coming behind me. I really press down there to lengthen that spine, okay? I want us to make sure we take time to find correct alignment, something that's safe for us. And then begin that twist from the waist upwards. Your gaze helps at the end to take the eyes a little bit back farther, and that will send your body there too. I still breathe here. And then I go in the opposite way. I release my head, my shoulders, still keeping long spine, okay? Because a lot of times when we start to take that, unwind the twist, we come into pressure in our vertebrae. We want to still stay nice and elongated, okay? And that's just going to help us again to grow instead of shrink. Let's go ahead and take the opposite leg, cross it over or put it on that block, if that's what's working for you. And again, a lot of work today in this belly area. So I'm sitting up here straight and tall. I'm taking the opposite hand of the hand that's on top, and I'm reaching maybe towards the bottom leg. Nice and upright, hand behind me. Go ahead and take that nice twist from waist up, looking over that back shoulder, keeping my cervical spine nice and long too. Press down with that hand behind you at the base of your spine. And then slowly beginning to bring ourselves back forward. Whew. And let's do the other side. Same hand as leg comes to knee, thigh, or shin. Other hand behind me, press down. Get prepared, and then take my twists, coming on back and around. And slowly releasing out of that, my head turns, shoulders, and the rest of me come back around. Good. Release that leg. And let's come into a nice symmetrical place of our goddess legs, okay? So toes out and heels in. And so Lori, just manage this. We're symmetrical, so that's good for the hip, right? We don't want to take you into something real asymmetrical today. but you may want to just decide how wide you want that footing to be, okay? And that's for you too, Josephine, but I know Lori's been dealing with a hip thing. So for right now, let's just come to the ball of 1 foot and lean ourselves over and take one arm up and one down. Yeah. And then bring ourselves back, heel down. Ball of the foot, take ourselves over. Kind of forming what would be known if we were standing triangle pose, okay? Do it again, high on the ball of the foot, lift that heel, feel that into your calf and come on over. And like you said, Josephine, for those flights, coming up and down with our feet and doing circles with those ankles really help with circulation. So whenever you can do that, when you're seated, take the time to extend into the ball of your foot or flex back into your heel or take those circles. And we spend a lot of time seated. Let's start being a little more aware of how that is that we seat ourselves. Okay, good. And now let's go ahead, lift our arms out to the side and let's take some circles here, okay? Either big or small, or make a variety. If you take them big, you're gonna feel that in your pecs, all right? If you take them small, you're gonna feel it more maybe in your triceps and your biceps and your deltoids, right? So they both have value. So maybe just a little bit of switching around from big to small. You guys decide what you wanna do, okay? And also it depends on our mobility of our shoulders, right? I'm gonna go ahead and reverse. But this is strengthening for arms, for shoulders, and for our spine because we're keeping ourselves nice and straight. So if we are keeping ourselves straight, we're not using the back of that chair. This is helping spine. This is helping our core too, yes. Ooh, and let those arms come down. Ooh, do you feel that? I do. Go ahead and pull up just an elbow. Let the other arm drop as long as it wants to go. Keep your eyes gaze forward or take it to that lower arm. Or if you want, take it towards an angle up and then bring yourself back. Ooh, to center. Take this elbow up. Take yourself down. Looking forward, looking down, back through forward and maybe angled up. And slowly bringing myself back up. Ooh, good. Let's take arms up, inhale. Pull down into cactus. Make strong arms here. How do we do that? Open up those palms. Extend those fingers big, okay? And then take just really, really small circles with your elbows. And reverse that. And if you want to add to the lower body, press in with your feet to the earth. Don't have to stand to strengthen those legs. Just press into the earth. And then inhale, lift. Exhale, pull on down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. Keep pressing through your feet if you want to ignite those legs. If you don't, then don't. Really, your choice, okay? 2, 1. Pull it down. Release, hands down. Woo. Good. Let's just take some circles here before we do something else that may be a little more strength igniting. Good, I love making circles. Let's go around the other way. There's something kind of like rocking, making circles, like a rock-a-bye baby kind of thing. So I think I love being in a hammock, because I just feel loose and free. Good, and then bring ourselves back up. And now let's go ahead and take our arms up, inhale. Exhale, right under left or one under the other. Find your X, find your cross, find your togetherness. Lift on an inhale. Exhale, pull yourselves forward, bowing to whatever feels good to you, okay? Don't go any lower. Maybe you're just at an angle 45, maybe you're at 90 degree, maybe you're at, let's see, what's in between 90 and 45. Not all the way down, but halfway in between. Oh, here's my math. Go ahead, bring yourself back up, inhale. And exhale, bow forward. You choose your depth. Inhale, bring yourselves up. Take two more, bowing. Rising. Lowering. Bring ourselves back up. Ooh, and release those arms, those eagle arms, let them fly. Inhale. Exhale, crossing opposite underneath. So that's my left. And underneath, and I make my X. And again, your arms may be right here, or you find any place in between, okay? Lifting, inhale. Bow to your depth. Bring yourself up, your in-breath. Take yourself lower on your exhale. One more, your breath, all right? Your rhythm, your pace, you be you. I'll be me. And then we will together live happily. Raise your arms up. Exhale them down. That's Mark's and my motto. You be you and I'll be me and we will live happily. Yeah. You know, when you start trying to make the other person like you, right? Telling them what to do, we all do that. Well, that's kind of helped us to get through some of that. Good. All right, let's go ahead from here because we've kept our legs open and this externally rotated a bit. Let's take ourselves to the instep and let our knees kind of cave in here. And only do it to the place it feels right for you. But you should kind of feel that in the inner thigh, at least I do, and then working its way up to my outer hip, right? So just sit tall here for a bit. We'll come back into some movement. Good. Now we're going to windshield wiper those legs. So hold on to the legs of your chair if you'd like, and take the legs and open one out, one in. So I'm on the outside of one foot, the inside of the other. Bring them back together. Take them in that opposite way, okay? Bring them back together, knees together. Let them come over, open, and just windshield. This doesn't have to be steady with your breath. This is just letting those hips do what they would really, they're made to do. And that's bring themselves in and take themselves out. Generally, we keep them moving forward all the time, right? So give ourselves a break to do different things with our hips. Good. All right. And now let's go ahead and find ourselves back again in that nice symmetrical place here. Raising our arms up, and let's come into our own creative sense in Sividasana. Find yourself and move the way you want to move. Will you be picking up foot, heel, and toe? Will you be working into shoulders, working into knees, working into neck, working into waist, working into wrists? You figure out what your body says. Oh, I like that. I want to do that a little bit more. That feels like something I need. And come back into stillness, into center. Release. Bring your arms up. And let's reverse. We're working a lot in the joints too today because of the cold weather. And take yourself wherever you want to go. This is a good time to close your eyes and just be you. Good. Ooh, that felt good. Lift up into center stillness. Exhale, bring it down. Arms are up. Touch wrists. Bend those elbows. Press away. Exhale. Let's do it again. This time, rise into the balls of your feet. Press in. Exhale. Come to the heels of your feet. Good. Inhale, balls of the feet. Touch those wrists. Exhale, press away, pull up, toes to the heels. Come on up, press it away. Working into all those joints, right? Into those 26 bones in our feet and 14 of those bones. And we're talking each foot, right? The 14 come into just the toes, okay? Amazing anatomy, amazing creative bodies that we have, okay? And let's do that one more time. I'm lifting, touching, coming down, and finding myself walking those legs in past the point of neutral, all the way till they connect one to the other. Like we call it in Bhujangasana, cobra pose. We're coming into our cobra tail. So let's do a little bit of cobra work here. We don't have to get on our bellies to do cobra work. Cobra work is about working that spine. So we do a lot of that already when we work into our heart. But we're gonna just keep those legs glued together like one cobra tail. We're going to take our hands right here, like we're pressing into the earth, okay? Pull your shoulders down and back. Pull the elbow points in to your sides, like little cricket wings. And then pretend to press into the earth, okay? And then let your heart come up. Open up those fingers. Really feel like the forearms are pressing down and opening up heart, coming into a caved in or rounded spine in the opposite way, not rounded forward, but really arcing. Press as if you got something under those arms. And then relax, let your hands come to your thighs. You might have an increase in the heart rate if you really were pressing down, okay? At least I am a little bit here. But that's Bhujangasana, that's cobra pose, right? We can also do that, we've done that standing before too, but I don't think I'll take a standing today. Let's take our hands on our thighs though, and let's try it that way. See if maybe that works for you better than trying to imagine pressing down, okay? Let's press into something, and that would be our thighs. So I'm going to open up my hands, pull in those elbows to my hips, get my cricket wings in, and I'm going to press down. Let my body come forward, upper body forward. Let my heart pull through the center. I don't come into my neck that much. It's really my heart. And I feel that concaveness in my lumbar spine. Press solidly into your thighs. You're not going to hurt yourself. You're going to feel that in your biceps, in your triceps, in your hands. Breathe here and exhale. Woo. Release and sit up straight and tall. Good. All right. Then let's go ahead and take our legs and lengthen them out. Keep a little bend in those knees. Okay, so we're not going to hyperextend by pressing into the knees at all. I'm on my heels, my toes are pulling back, but again, keeping strength in my kneecaps. How do I do that? Press into my heels, pull into my glutes, making sure that I'm using other muscles than just pushing all that energy into my knee joint. And then from here, let's go ahead, lift up, inhale. And then exhale, take one arm to the opposite leg and the other hand behind you on the back of your chair. Press through those heels and take a look behind you. So we're coming into a twist from kind of a staff pose. And then bringing myself back around, taking the other hand to the other thigh, press down or take hold of the back of the chair and take myself into a twist from straight legs. Again, working into that middle area there. And then releasing, bringing myself back forward, taking my legs back into a seated mountain pose. I'm going to take that hand back like we did earlier today, and we did that twist. Take your forearm so that it's between your thighs, wrist, and elbow. And then take the other arm, and we're just going to swim. We're going to swim forward, taking those strokes to however that feels right for you in terms of your capacity and your shoulder opening there. Take a little bit of work in your fingers as well. So extend them up as you reach up, come into a fist as you reach forward, release them, fist them. So we get into the finger joints as well. And let's reverse that. Backstroke here. Good. And then switch out those, the arm. So I'm on the other side, and now this side's going to take those strokes. And we're also getting a little bit of our cardio going here, because anytime we take our arms higher than our heart has to work a little bit harder. And we're pumping also with the opening of our hand and the squeezing into fist. Still use breath. And reverse, take that backstroke. And one more time. Good. Bring myself up And now let's do this stroke. I don't know what it's called, where we go forward and we take both arms this way. What is that? The crawl, or the other one's crawl. So just coming forward, spreading our arms forward, taking our arms back. This is my inhale, my exhale. Two more. Warming up the body, also important on these cold days. Good. And now, the stroke I always wanted to learn to do and never did, and that's the butterfly. So I can do it without being in the water, I think. So we're going to take our arms together and bring them forward. And take them together. Yeah. And wasn't it in the butterfly that they had that really beautiful kick that they did with their legs? This was major in strengthening spine and chest cavity. One more. Good. Take one hand to the leg of your front of your chair. Let's come on over. Exhale. Bring yourself up. Inhale. And exhale over. Few more, you guys. Your breath. One more set. Taking arms up, bring ourselves this way. One arm forward, the other arm back to center. And let's go ahead and do this a little bit. We don't have to match our breath right now, okay? I want you to do this so you really kind of feel it in your waist there. I used to call these windmills or something. One more set, one time on each side. Good. Hands to thighs. 4 sets, cow and cat. Bring yourself forward, inhale. Exhale. Bring yourself up. Take yourself down. And then find ourselves straight and tall. Take your right hand to your belly, your left hand to your heart. And let's ask our breath that comes deep into our bellies to help reveal to us our true emotions that we've stored in so many places of our body. And they're feeling trapped and they want to come out. So let your deep, full, slow breaths help them to find release. We have our right hand that is for releasing on our bellies. We have our left hand that's for receiving those emotions at our heart. Let's prepare ourselves this year to do our work with those emotions, so they don't have to feel that they have to go into hiding. that we can deal with them as they come